Hey, Conscious Collective, it's your girl, Miss Lisa here again. I'm back because I wanted to, I did say I was going to speak on being possessed by a demonic spirit. I want to share that with you guys. A few years back, I'd say about maybe 5 years ago. So, I'm going to try not to name names. It's going to be kind of hard, but I had an experience where a loved one was lost. And because one of my children hadn't gotten a chance to experience that loved one, he had just started experiencing that loved one and understood how much he loved that other loved one that passed on, and he didn't get the time that he felt like he was deserved. After the funeral, I didn't go. After the funeral, he went with his dad. I didn't go. And when he came home that evening, it was like a dead silence. So it was easy to hear in my home. It was very easy to hear what was going on. And you could hear punching, like wall punching, and like somebody sucking the wall. And I distinctively heard, "Fuck God." And when I heard that, I jumped up. This was during the time I was still into the Bible. I jumped up. I opened up my bedroom door with haste. I walked into the hallway and looked down the hall towards the door, the room that he was in. The door was closed. And at the same time that I reacted the way I did, his sister had reacted the same exact way. Okay, now we're both looking at each other like, oh my God, he misses, his granddad. It's rough. She said, "Mom, did you hear him? He said, F God." And I was like, I heard that. So I walked up to his door. I knocked on it first, and I didn't hear anything. So I decided peacefully open the door. And when I opened the door, my son was standing facing towards me out of the doorway. And there were lights on in the hallway. There were lights on in his room, but he was completely dark. Like a shadow was over him. You couldn't see nothing but the outlines of his body. This is what I saw. So immediately I went to grab him and I said, "You can't have him." And I held him. Keep in mind, my arms are on the outside of his arms. And we're talking about a 20-year-old boy, young man. He's like 5'10". I'm 5'6". So you can imagine the height, right? I'm holding him around his waist. And I lean my head on him. And I keep repeating, "You can't have him. You can't have him." Next thing I know, I didn't say anything. I walked. It's almost like being in an out-of-body experience. I remember walking backwards, closing the door, not even looking at him, closing the door, and coming into my room and closing my door. Now, the next what you're going to hear is, I don't recall any of this. I was told by 4 of my children. The one that I experienced this with, that was in the room, my daughter, and my 2 oldest sons. My oldest son is 6'3.5". My 35-year-old, he's like 6 foot. And again, the 20-year-old, he's like, he's 5'10". So And then I have a daughter, and she's like 5'4", 5'5", almost my height. And this is what I was told the next day that I had done. I get a knock on the door, and I say, "Come in," smiling. And my daughter goes, "Hey, Mom, you okay?" And I go, "Girl, open the door. What is you doing?" She goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "What? You'll never, what is this? Girl, what is you doing?" She said, with tears in her eyes that never fail, but her eyes were so watery. And she said, "I didn't know who you were. Your face was not yours. And it scared me. Are you okay?" I said, "Baby, I'm okay." And I needed to get to the bottom of what the fuck she was talking about, because she was scared to death of her own mother. We're best friends. We are the closest of the close. She understands her rules, and I understand mine, as far as mother-daughter duo. We're constantly in the room together. She's always in here. Always. That's the one I told you guys about at the barbecue that we had about a month ago. We're always in the room together. She's always telling me stories and things, and her relationship and her job or whatever. She's always talking to me about something, clothes, asking me, you just get it, girly stuff. My daughter was petrified to come in the room and speak with me until I answered her, "Are you okay?" "Yes, I'm fine, baby. Come here. What's going on?" So I finally got the whole story. She said, "Mama, your face, something happened to your face. I don't know what it was, but something happened to your face. It wasn't you. It was like real, like disturbed, like it was cracking, and your eyes, like the white on your eyes weren't the same. It wasn't as much as it's supposed to be, and it was like your face was getting longer and longer." So she's telling me this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking? What the fuck are you talking about? She said, "Remember when you talked to, my brother about what happened?" Like I said, I'm trying to keep names out of this. "My brother about what happened." "Yeah, and you, after that, that's when you started freaking out." I said, "What the fuck do you mean freaking out?" So I said I needed to find out what the fuck happened, because she told me that her brothers were here when I freaked out, or whatever they thought they saw. Nobody wanted to say demonic. Nobody wanted to use devil. Nobody wanted to use, but I'm fucking using them motherfucking words today. Yes, I was taken over by a demon. This is not the first time that it has happened to me. After this time, I realized multiple years ago, and even in this house, it had happened before. So now I know what it is. It's actually happened again after this instance I'm talking about. Now, I'm running out of time right now, but I'm going to start up a new video, and we're going to start where we ended from, which is me knowing now what the hell is going on. Peace in, loved ones. Come on over to part 2.